All right, so who are some of the most underappreciated and underrated rappers from the 80s and 90s? Let's talk about it.
Kick ass!
What up, GMB fam? Today we're going to be talking about those MCs who didn't get their flowers when they should have. The ones you had to dig into liner notes to see their names, and you didn't even know their names when you saw them. Well, they need their flowers too, because a lot of them laid it down. I'm your man, Chad, your resident rap nerd, and that man beside me is the OG of OGs, Big Absolute. Big Absolute, what's buzzing, cuz?
What's going on, man? I'm glad we here. Like, we talking about these rappers who had bars, son. They had style, they had influence, but most of all, they didn't get the spotlight the way they should have. Some of them, it could be, you know, they were crewmates, label mates. They didn't really have the production behind them, but we finna break it down in 3 parts, man. We're gonna get deep on that thing, and we're gonna talk about underrated MCs, man. We got a little draft for y'all. We're gonna pick our joints, then we're gonna swap the picks. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see what's happening. It's healthy up in here. Let's get it.
And so let's go on and get it started with some of the ones we wanted to talk about first. I'm gonna go first here, and y'all know who I'm gonna say. If you have watched this show, you might even look, go down to the chapters. You can skip this one, cause you know damn well what name I'm fitting to throw out there. It ain't but 2 letters. AZ, y'all. I do think AZ is one of the best lyricists of the 90s. The way he used his multis was just spectacular. Now, he didn't do anything groundbreaking. He was really good at what he did. I think he had 2 problems. One, he had trouble making good songs after that first album. Like hooks were a problem for him after that first album. The lyrics were never a problem. He had bars for years, but the hooks were a problem for him. The other problem, he came out with Nas. That's a big problem.
Okay, let me just tell you. That is the biggest problem of his entire career. You can talk production, you can talk hooks, you can even talk about song choices as the way it was engineered on an album. But Life is a Bitch, half of his problem. Like, Nas, being next to and connected to Nas in the 90s was a problem, period.
Yeah. It was like being Sam Bowie. You got drafted ahead of Jordan.
Yes.
That's what you came in with Jordan, and I'm sorry, man, you just got swallowed up by the gigantic shadow that is Nas.
I'm a lyricist at heart, for one, and for 2, I love the game, for 3, you know. It's self-motivated, man.
So Do or Die, I will say, Do or Die is, to me, one of the best albums of the 90s. The fall off from the complete album that Do or Die was to the ones after that, the completeness of the albums after that kind of fell off, and he just started focusing on his lyrics, which is fine for me because I don't care what a hook is. I love lyricists, so I don't give a shit what the hook sounds like if you got 16 hot bars in there. We grew up with lyricists who were just on terrible beat, and you were like, this is terrible, but I like what he's saying. So that didn't bother me. He did get a Grammy nomination, but it was for a song that he did with Nas. He continually got swallowed up, but my man had such a smooth delivery, and he was consistent with his lyrics. His discography is consistent. After that freshman album just came out so hard, everything else was consistent after that, just not consistent with Do or Die necessarily. Who you got on your list, man?
I'm gonna go to the Hit Squad, but it's not a name that most of you probably would think about. You think Hit Squad, you think EPMD. Everybody thinks Redman, right? But who was Redman before? A guy by the name of K Solo is who I'm going, right?
Yes.
K Solo was a guy who hit you. The intelligence of his bars mixed with grit and grime, right? He had humor like Your Mom's in My Business, which was one of my favorite songs, right? But he also hit you with stuff like Spellbound and Letterman, which are complex. Letterman, for you to be able to do 80% of your song spelling all the words to make the lines and still make it rhyme.
To be clear, this is 25 years before Papoose did his alphabet song.
Correct. Put words together like letters, man. If you don't know, just go check him out. He was my first introduction and understanding when we talk about punchers in hip hop, in rap. K Solo was my first understanding of a puncher. He hits you with bar after bar after bar. It wasn't all knowledge. It wasn't all conscious. It wasn't all gangster. He punched you with metaphors, left, right, lefts. And it was a beautiful thing, man. You got somebody else?
On K Solo, man, the rhyme schemes that he went with, he was ahead of his time. And I am always here for a rapper who's ahead of his time. Like, you are doing something that it takes people years to catch up to, and that's impressive. It's a shame. Like I said, most of the people on this list are going to be swallowed up by the people that were around him, and he got swallowed up by everybody you named.
Yeah.
When you're working with EPMD and Redman, it's going to be hard for you. Like we say, Redman would not be somebody that we would argue is a GOAT. Redman takes up a lot of the oxygen when he walks in the room just because of his personality, his style, his energy, and how funny he is. He's going to take all of that away from you.
I mean, let's talk about the roster, right?
That just makes it hard.
K Solo was the top agent. You got EPMD and then K Solo. And in 3 years, you got Das Effects, Red, and Keith Murray. Not to mention Eric Sermon having a solo project, and then 2 very successful EPMD albums back to back. It was easy to get swallowed. Some say Keith got swallowed up. His squad was a machine for a while, for sure.
And that is true. Keith Murray doesn't get the credit that I think he deserves because of Eric Sermon. All right, so I do have another one from you. It comes from the 90s. It is from one of my favorite groups of all time. I've talked about Naughty by Nature and Tretch a lot, but I'm not talking about Tretch this time. This time, we go into your man, Mr. Vin Rock.
Vin Rock? Is we doing Vin Rock?
Because if you ever heard a song called Dirt All By My Lonely or Strike a Nerve.
Strike a Nerve, baby.
Oh. Strike a Nerve to me was that song they made for Vin Rock. They made it because they were like, hey, everybody out here thinks Vin Rock can't rap. Let's let Vin Rock cut loose on one. And cut loose, Vin Rock did. Vin Rock was part of the writing machine that helped Naughty by Nature make anthem after anthem. And the thing about those anthems, I don't think people understand how hard it is to make a party anthem that still rocks in the streets. Because Drake, for example, makes a lot of party anthems. But you don't go into a lot of neighborhoods and see people playing those from the car while everybody's sitting around listening to it.
Ain't no Sundays with your trunk over talking about this Drake joint slap.
Nope. Nobody's doing that. But you did do that. When you went to house parties in the 90s, you were listening to Naughty by Nature. You were listening to the Lost Boys. Like, they made anthems. Tretch is another one that could just as well be on this list because to me, Tretch is a top 25 rapper.
Argue with your mama.
Yeah, he's a top 25 rapper and he hardly ever gets that credit. Outside of the rappers from the 90s who worked with him, they give him that credit. But other people were just like Vin Rock and Tretch did anthems, so they didn't really pay attention to how good their lyrics actually were. Like you were like, they just make party songs like Hip Hop Hooray. But you didn't realize that the lyrics inside of Hip Hop Hooray were complex lyrics, or how clever OPP was.
Come on, man. Let's just go anthems. You got OPP, you got Hip Hop Hooray, Uptown Anthem, Feel Me Flow. Like, let's just talk about it. Like, y'all don't understand what we're saying when it was like an anthem. Like, an anthem, not for the summer, not for the ladies, anthem that slaps today, right
that
now,
that our generation still listens to.
Wherever you play.
Because I can still hear Hip Hop Hooray and go right back to the 90s.
If you think I'm lying, if you think this is not true, ladies and gentlemen, just walk in a barbershop, walk in a room where black people are congregating and just holler out, hip hop, hooray! And then and see what happens. Gonna get a hey-ho out of that somewhere.
I'm just gonna wave my hand.
Back.
Me and my neighbors were talking about how excited white folks are when we get invited to the barbecue. One of my neighbors was like, why do y'all get so excited when you get invited to the barbecue? I was like, look, man, I found the best way to explain this. White people get excited when we get invited to the barbecue because it's like making the all-star team when you play for the Magic. It's like, yeah, my team sucks, but I'm balling.
I'm putting up 26
I'm balling. I'm balling. I get to go to All-Star Weekend. I'm at All-Star Weekend. I don't know where y'all at this weekend.
I'm going to the Shaq comedy joint. I'm out here doing it.
Ain't nobody looking at me sideways.
Yes, sir.
All right, so back to the music. I know you gonna go back to that golden era.
I stay there. I live there.
So come on with it.
I'm not even gonna name my person. Instead, I'm just microphone checker 1, 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with that roughneck business. None other than Phife Dawg from the Tribe.
Yeah, Mr. NBA, nothing but action. Dissecting MCs like a fraction. The Knickerbocker fan.
Everybody knows Q-Tip, and I'm not saying people don't know Phife, right? But Q-Tip had a great life outside of the Tribe. They melded well together. In my opinion, they were outcasts before there was an outcast. They were definitely on two planes and managed to put it together verbally, visually, and artistically, right? Mm-hmm. But when I tell you, DJ Booth, it's the same way. One of the most underrated groups ever, they say Tribe is. So imagine how people feel about Phife. The wit, his sports references, his humor, but the 5-foot assassin is a crazy nickname. That's that Napoleon complex. Like, that is a crazy nickname for me, man. Love Phife. I'm saying one of my favorite songs. I hated this song, but I love Fife's verse. I lost my wallet in El Segundo. I hate that song. I love Fife's verse, though.
He was funny.
He was dope.
And like you were saying, that's what was dope, because Tip was usually pretty serious with his rhymes, how they bounced off of each other like that you got a little bit of relief when you got the Phife, who still said stuff, but he was funny, too.
Shout out Phife, man. R.I.P. Phife. Rest in peace, soldier. Shout out Phife, dog, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna stay around that era with one.
What you talking?
And I'm not even gonna name him either. I'm just gonna give you a lyric.
Okay.
Sitting on CHROME. We hadn't said Masta Ace's name in a long time on here. But why is it that nobody says that dude's name anymore? You do not hear that dude's name. And he was so creative, man. The concept songs that he came up with were crazy. Slaughterhouse, Disposable Axe, Sitting on Chrome.
Yeah, say nothing else. Sitting on Chrome is a lyrical masterpiece. And that beat is bananas. That beat's correct. If you had any kind of system and play Sitting on Chrome, that beat, you could ride to that all day long.
All Music called him an underappreciated veteran and an underground luminary. I like that because I really do think he was underground and doing really creative shit. His stood out to me. He wasn't scared to take chances with rap.
Yeah.
I appreciate rappers who aren't scared to do something wrong.
I mean,
because, there are certain rappers that are like, I don't want to try too much. I don't want to risk it not being good.
Yeah. I mean, for you folks that don't have a clue who Masta Ace is, before there was a Slaughterhouse, before there was an NWA, there was this group called the Juice Crew. Masta Ace, Cool G Rap, Craig G, Big Daddy Kane.
And you can see why Masta Ace did not get mentioned very much with those names.
I'm just telling you that probably soon on this show we'll have this discussion, but I know from my personal experience, there was a 10-year conversation about who had S verse on the sample.
It still is a conversation.
It's worth the discussion. Like, it is worth the discussion for real. Masta Ace was my guy. Like, he was one of those ones that I studied coming up. He was my guy.
And a storyteller. Which, as we've talked before, that is not an easy thing to do in rap. All right, so I know you got one more for me. Come on, dig deep in your bag. What you got for me?
Okay, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube leaves NWA.
Mm-hmm.
He takes DOC with him. Dre, DOC is running amok. How does NWA survive?
I know the answer to this.
That's my guy, Mr. Quiet on the Set himself, not get the shine he deserves. None other than MC Ren.
In 93, I'm wrecking shit so you can fuck what you heard. I'm dropping plenty shit like a motherfucking bird. I'm still gangsta boogie if I get my boogie on. But my finger and my chrome keeps on fucking with my dome.
Yo, MC Ren became the main writer for most of what NWA did after Cube split. Everything you loved about what he did as an artist for Straight Outta Compton, Ninjas for Life was a Ren lyrical, Ren production. DLC penned a couple joints on there too, but DLC was still deep as an artist at that point. This was a Ren joint. This was a Ren show. He was raw, no filter. He had that hint of militant in a lot of his bars underneath the gangster tone. He was very militant, but the man put together word. Period, point blank. He's always overlooked because of the careers Dre had, the career Cube had, of course, even the career Easy had, even though the second half of Easy's career was mostly penned by Ren. But with solo joints like Kiss My Ass, Kiss My Black Ass, Same Old Shit, these are joints that Ren just got to ride. And of course, I mentioned my favorite track from Straight Outta Compton was Quiet on the Set. If you've never got an introduction to MC Ren, that's the one.
Yeah, and anytime you can say that somebody was a major factor in writing Straight Outta Compton, you need some credit for that.
Yeah, man.
As we saw when we did our best albums in 1988, Straight Outta Compton got a lot of votes. All right, so let's switch it up here. Now we're going to take 6 more underrated MCs and we're going to have a little draft. Each of us will get to pick 3, and then we can talk about why the 3 that we picked would be better as a cipher squad than the other. So the 6 rappers are Craig G, Young Bleed, Heath Murray, Lord Finesse, Grand Puba, and Mr. Cheek. BA, you got the first one. Your pick, sir.
I'm going Keith Murray. I'm going Keith Murray first. I'm going Keith Murray strictly for the lyrical wordplay.
The lyrical lexicon.
Yes, sir.
If you gonna go Keith Murray, I'm gonna go a little bit more fun. I'm starting off with Grand Puba.
Yeah,
give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that big man energy.
Yeah, I like it. The suave big man energy. Right.
All right, so who you got for number 2? We still got Lord Finesse, Craig G, Mr. Cheeks, and Young Bleed.
I mean, I guess now I'm at the spot that I want to be. So based on that bar alone, I gotta go with Mr. Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do Mr. Lost Boy himself. The artistic mind behind Renee and Music Makes Me High. Gotta go with Cheeks.
Boy, Music Makes Me High was such an anthem of that era. Like, it spoke to that era so much. Lex, Coops, Beamers, and the Benz.
Oh, they don't know. They don't.
All right, so if you're going to go with Cheeks, I'll go with my man Young Bleed.
Out the boot.
Yes, because I'm going to go with a Louisiana veteran.
Boot.
That man has a catalog. Like, a catalog. If you don't know it, you have no idea how many songs that man is. But the voice, BA. Yeah. Young Bleed's voice, it was so smooth Southern pimp. It was like a Louisiana version of Tila. I don't want to compare them. I don't want to put them too close together because they're not that close, but that's kind of what I think about. It's just like so smooth, like that smooth gangster down in Louisiana. And he always picked the right beat to flow on.
Young Bleed,
like he was
Young Bleed Corleone.
He was always sharp with the beats that he picked. And something that impressed me with him was being able to work with no limit and not get swallowed up by the rest of the guys on there.
Not be limited. Yes.
Right, yes.
Yeah. The only man that made one of the most Southern sayings flap for a song, best song verse intro ever, Young Bleed with that, who that? They want to do that.
Who that? He always had like this good tone to it too, man. Like his song was always like this low-key haunted tone. Like I don't know, man. There was just something about the way he could put something together. But all right, so we're down to the last two. No offense to Lord Finesse and Craig G, but those are the last two. So who you got, BA?
I've been hitting quotables every time. I'm not going to stop now. Next up, yo, I believe that's me. Craig G, get on the mic for the symphony. Yo, I must take Craig G because all I need now is the humor factor. And Craig G gives me that humor factor with bars. I take that.
So Craig G it is, and that leaves me with one I'm not mad at, because Lord Finesse, another one of those rappers that we're talking about because they got swallowed up.
Yeah.
Lord Finesse was in this group that we probably should talk about, which is Digging in the Crates. And like the MCs that were in Digging in the Crates, when you're working with Big L, Fat Joe, was it Showbiz and AG? All kind of different guys they were working with. When you're working with them, it's like when you Big L and Fat Joe.
Joey Crack, the guy we know. Fat Joe, Joey Crack.
Yeah, that Fat Joe, it was going to be hard for you to stand out. But Lord Finesse had bars, man. And not only that, he was a good producer.
Yes.
He ended up working with Big L, Fat Joe, and Biggie Smalls on a lot of stuff, but he was also one of the founders of Digging in the Crates. So he helped introduce and mentor guys who became legends.
Is Lord Finesse, just an opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Is Lord Finesse the Sci-Hi Prince of the East Coast, like of New York? That's how I think about Lord Finesse. People will never argue the bar game, right? Lord Finesse is a spitter. Nobody would ever argue that. Everybody loves his pen, but he just got overshadowed for his art. The artist got overshadowed. And so I compare him to Sci-Hi like that.
Yeah, Big L was just a machine when he came out, and Fat Joe eventually built up this huge following. So it was going to be hard for him to get any air.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Keith Murray, Mr. Cheeks, and Craig G versus Grand Puba, Young Bleed, and Lord Finesse.
Come on, man.
So I got the style. I got two pimps on my side.
Yes, sir.
Two pimps and a lyricist on my side.
Yeah.
And you got the three creative types. You got the lyrical lexicon.
I got storytelling, but most importantly, I got punchlines, I got jokes. I feel like I got each of the three master skills that would make a great mesh in a group. I got somebody who punched, I got the jokes, and then I got a storyteller. So I'm gonna have, with a storyteller, you're gonna have a good hook, because a storyteller like to tie it all together, right? With a puncher, you got somebody who could start off, and then the joke teller, you got the joke teller, I won't say filler like filler in bars, but the joke teller fill you in spots. They give you the upbeats to the story. So I feel like I'm complete. I feel like I got you, right? I'm worried about Puba. I am a little worried. Puba can go both. So I'm a little nervous about Puba.
I'm just gonna say my team, we just gonna have fun.
Fact.
After the after party, my team is definitely better than yours. I got Puba and Young Bleed going into the after party with me, so we straight at the after party. I'm good. I'm going home with something because I came with Puba and Lord Finesse. I mean, with Puba and Young Bleed, I'm going home with something.
I mean, Puba was the first dude that ever heard rap about himself in third person and make it cool. I'll be Puba on this here from last year. Aren't you? Is Puba an adjective? Did you describe you? Yeah, man.
Did you make yourself a verb?
You be out here Puba?
360 degrees.
Don't make me find some Puba in the crates today.
All right. That'll do it for us, man. Just some of the underrated, because this list is long and distinguished. So if you got them, who were the ones that you think are underrated MCs from the 80s, 90s, 2000s? Who are those underrated rappers that you love that just don't get the love they deserve? Put them down in the comments. And while you're putting shit in the comments, you might as well go ahead and smash that like and subscribe, because I like to see numbers go up and it makes me happy. But it also helps us keep bringing us this good shit to you, because we enjoy talking to y'all.
Yeah, we do.
So go on and do those things for us. We'll keep this party going. We'll be back here next week. I'm your man, Chad. That's the OGBA. We'll catch y'all later.
Kick ass!